Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate in the Journal Nest in Australia, and I'm so excited to have you with me. This may even feel a little overindulgent for Kate because I've been sitting here sewing all morning or stitching and trying to resist um, filming. And then those words came into my head, and I thought, okay, I'm doing it. I'll just turn the camera on um, because it's freezing cold here. It's a winter's morning. It's drizzly. There's nothing better to than to be in the nest and to be I had a coffee and some chocolate before. I have done some journaling, and after this I need to get back to it. But I was reflecting about the use of color and how we vacillate. So I know some of you are working on your neutrals this morning. So this is a story I have to tell you. I was on my machine stitching. If you don't know about my stitching for my journals, I start days off with stitching collage so that I can use these pieces in my journals. I was feeling happy, obviously, because there's a butterfly on that one. So I was in my neutrals and I came over to my desk and thought about, I got a beautiful gift this week and I just have to have it close to me. I did a little bit of rearranging because I was running out of room with all my nests. And look, I had this beautiful old glass, not sure what you call that, but it doesn't have a lot of base room. So I thought, well, okay, why don't you put your these neutrals together with the handy needle holder, which I'll get out for later. And so I was just reflecting, and then I've often shown you this, but I thought I really want a round one. So before I knew it, I was stitching two pieces of just calico together and covering it with this piece of lace that was part of my gift. So I just made a little pincushion, which I was very happy with. And it was sitting there like that. And then I thought, oh, I really have a need to make another one. So I went to my little box of colours, opened it up and thought, what's in the lucky dip today? And immediately I wanted to go back to my colourful Fiesta series, if you like. So I made this side first and put some old doily, and then I turned over. Is Kate going crazy? This is giving me so much joy, so I thought I may as well share it with you. I thought I need to do a crochet video as well as a stitching. I went and got my crochet cotton, saw this old motif that I'd made, and suddenly before I knew it, I cut it, put it onto the blanket, put another bit of blanket and a flower, and I thought, that's made me happy. I hope it makes you happy. So that then led to me going to my nests, and you might be getting sick of these. So there's number one, colourful nest. Here's big sister nest that is coming together nicely. Lots of sewing last night as we watched a movie. So that's, well, it's reversible again. So let's have a quick squeeze. So these colours are just like giving me joy. I was even thinking of Frida Kahlo and thinking, am I somehow morphing those colours and that lovely joy there? So, okay, so I bought that out and thought, yes, okay, someone has requested some information or how I made this closure. This is a long-winded intro, but feel free to click off. But I just want to tell you the story, how one neutral thing led me to where I am right now. So this had been requested because I made this for this little pocket. Oh boy, my friend gave me these at the green door and I was wondering where I'd put them. And look, see, that's another message. They're sparkly and you put them apparently you stick them down and then you stitch around. Okay, so that's meant to be. So what am I saying? That then led me to, I'll get that out of the way, this needle book that I shared with you the other day. So suddenly Kate's going, let's look on the inside. I've added the needle bit. I've got a little pocket here that's going to hold my cottons. And then I thought, okay, let's make the envelope that we can crochet on. And as I was thinking about that, it led me to reflect on one of you, subbies, who said that she's been practicing making flowers, crochet flowers, and she's going to put them in her colourful nest. So for example, I've already done that one there, but here's a little pink joy that might end up going there. In fact, I don't want to forget that. So let's do that there. In fact, why don't I start? So I hope you're still with me. I haven't asked how you are. How are you feeling? Kate's been rambling on because she's so excited. And so it's Sunday here. And as I said, all is well with the world when you can just take the time on a weekend to stitch. And I do have time today. My husband's away in a golfing competition. I had to get up very, very early, so I've been awake early, and that's, I think, anytime you wake and you've got a day where I don't have to go out of the house, how amazing is that? So that's why here I am. Not planned, spontaneous, but it's joy. So if I go back to neutrals and colours, I do think, aren't we so lucky to have the choice? And I know many of you love blues. And then we've got the French look, so we can go anywhere. So I suppose my story is, who knows where Kate will go next? But at the moment, it's like one flower leading to another. And I was doing some crocheting with Zoe this week out at the green door. She's making the most amazing blanket with variegated wool. And I got my crochet hook out, envious, and just practiced some stitches alongside of her. So that's what this flower is made of, some basic stitches. And I suppose I'm just, the more I get back to stitching, the more I think about how related, you know, stitching and knitting and crocheting and all these sorts of forms of making are. So now I've got that down, I'm just going to go round with sort of like a blanket stitch. I did do quite a lot of tidying of the nest yesterday for the same reason. What have I done? Oh, there's something. See, when I stand up, oh no, that's all right. I say it probably every time, but I so love hearing about your making and how you're feeling and what's happening. I'm trying to catch up on my comments, so I'll do another session today. So if I don't get straight back to you, please don't think that I won't. I did find some that I hadn't answered for a week, which is, oops. So you can probably see that this, I haven't put a doily or anything on the bottom of this nest yet. We'll work out where we're going on that. No, I've twisted this the wrong way. Doesn't matter. Don't even know what stitch I'm doing. It doesn't matter, but look at that little woven bits coming out there. So this is the week that we all get to finish our Roxy's prompts, and I have seen on Facebook in particular a lot of people sharing every project they've made, and that is amazing. Okay, so this is what I love doing. I finish on this side, poke it through, and see where we're up to on this side. I could go along there, but I think I need a little bit more collage of colour. So let's come along here. Surely the most relaxing thing to do. All right, I'm going to make some of the stitch for the week for Kate has been, after watching Rachel and Sarah's sampler, just trying out some stitches, and the ones that I have loved have been these crosses. So just randomly I'm going to stop. Just suddenly thought, I hope I'm in, doesn't go into slow motion, that's what I suddenly thought. Because I just had a message, the battery's going low. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter. So a few of these little pink cross stitches here. Adding the layers under my fingers, and that is comforting and joyful in itself. Probably can't see that, there's threads everywhere there. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to scurry along now in case that battery runs out. Finish stitching. Actually, I'll take it through to finish it off and under something. Okay, so let's put that away for the moment. Look how squishy. Big sister. And now we're going to look at two things. We're going to look at the inspiration. It's a good way of remembering where my needle is, looking at that. So the inspiration of these flowers and this crochet here, and we're going to remember my friend by just putting that there. We're going to do a closure on here and I'm thinking that I would love to use this vintage button that was gifted to me. So I love using straightaway treasures that I collect, because then they're sort of time bound, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't want to. So how about that? It's a vintage pearly button. This is bigger words as Kate can say this morning. So where are we going? So we're thinking about these. I'm going to put that there and get out the crochet hook. And first of all, I want to encourage you to start, if you love using doilies and these surrounds, let's start getting creative with our own edges and embellishments. So I've shown you chain before, and I'm just going to go a bit faster. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Because I have noticed on these crochet flowers that they have a bigger center and then they have layers and petals. So 8, then we're going to slip stitch to make a circle, which is going to be the center. Okay, come on. Suddenly it just goes through my brain that people may be watching this and I suddenly get all clumsy with my crochet. Okay, then we're going to do a chain and we're going to do double crochet. So my system of teaching crochet is really simple. I use words that you can memorize in your head and say over if you're a beginner. So we call this double crochet in Australia. I think it's single in the States, or I'm not sure about Europe, but here we go. It's in, over, under, and through, over and through. So in, over, under, and through. So 1, 2 of those. I'm going to do 10. 1, so this is 3. 4, 5, 6. A quick review for you. So in to the hole, over, through, under and through. Sorry, there we go. 6, 7, 8. Better just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, you would have been able to, Kate can't count and crochet at the same time. So I'm just going to join that up there. So remember, crochet is very forgiving. And I'm just making this pattern up as I go. So I'm going to do 1 chain there, and we're going to start making, we're going to make starting some loops. Start making loops. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to miss a stitch and then go through there. Same stitch, double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Miss one. Come around. This cotton split a little bit. 1, 2, 3. So whatever you use, it will come out. 1, 2, 3. So simple. 2 stitches so far, and we can see this flower forming in front of us. 2, 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals, and just a slip stitch in there. Okay, so we've got gaps. Now we're going to fill those up to make them look like a flower. So I'm going to use a double crochet in there, the same stitch, and then I'm going to do a treble. I think I've shown you those before. It's just in the looping, so it's loop, in, loop and under, then loop and two, and loop and two. So again, loop, in, over and through, loop, through two, loop, through two. I'm going to do another one. And then the same stitch that we started off. Okay, so we've done sort of a little petal there. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around. So treble, so one double crochet, doesn't take long, and I'm imagining us all doing flowers everywhere. Three, and it is a very visual form of making, I find, because you can see very quickly where you're up to. Okay, so I've done 3 petals and 2 to go. So double crochet, then 3 trebles over, under, over and through 2, through 2. And then once you do a few of them, your hand just does it itself. And last petal. Nice bit of pink cotton has come to say thank you. All right. There we are. So you can see made a variegated flower with petals. I'm just going to finish it off. Hook that through. This is going to be sewn down, so I'm not working it in, but just as an idea. There. Oh, and look, actually, look at that. Maybe that. What do you think? If not there, it can be somewhere else. Okay, so now I'm going to leave that there as inspiration. We are going to, I was going to use the pink. Do you think I need the pink? I think because mostly it's pink yet. This is cotton. Some of you asked, can you do the same thing in wool? Of course you can. It's, and I've got, look, I've got heaps and heaps of acrylic wool that I used to make rugs out and give them away, and I still have lots. So don't feel, just use whatever you have. All right, so be the background on this pocket. It was a napkin. I use these very much in my journals in the neutral colors. But for this, I'm feeling that I'd like to, have some pops of color. So I did some blanket stitch in my variegated wool, down that to bind it together. Okay, so that's what stitched it together. And then along under the crochet there. And I haven't sewn this yet because we're going to crochet it together. This is why crocheting is so versatile. So let's just, I've got a loop on here and I'm going to my first blanket stitch. So to crochet, you just need to have something to go into, if that means, that sounds silly, but if you can get your hook under it, you can crochet it. So I'm going to do the same double crochet around here into each blanket stitch loop. Bit of fray here, but that, in my style, that doesn't worry me. And I'll try and crochet the end in as well. So double crochet is very like a blanket stitch. So now we're chugging along. I'm not exactly sure what pattern we're going to make up at the top. That's why this gives us time to think. So truly, just let go. Be curious and think, oh, I wonder if I could do something, and do it in neutrals and naturals. I'm finishing off a series of my denim and neutral and indigo journals today, and I've been loving that interplay of the natural. Okay, so there we are, starting to form shape. And where are we going to go here? Just find a loop. Not an easy decision. Let's do one up there. Just have to get ourselves around the corner to the blanket stitch. Here we go. Yep. So this time you can see I'm leaving this on top, and I'm going to blanket stitch underneath, and then we're going to do our loop for the button on the way back. Split the thread. Again, third time lucky. So how is the weather at your house? I was thinking of, it must be the longest day in the Northern Hemisphere. It would have been yesterday, and hopefully it's summer in full swing. We'll have a look at this when I get across. So I know some of you slow it down, but really it's the same double crochet or single crochet, in, over, under and through. I had a flashback a little while ago of me making a bag when I was little, when I blanket stitched, and then I crocheted the handle, the strap, and I thought, I haven't thought of that for so many years, but it's starting to all come back to me. Moment of indecision over here. Let's go just into that one. Okay, so a little bit of edging there, and the crochet over the top, and that's going to go like that. Now, what I would do is just keep going around there. I just realized you probably got the idea, and as battery is flashing, I will make a closure on that And next time you see my work, hopefully this one will be finished. I've got a lot of work to do on the back. This little pin cushion will be matching. Big sister nest vessel will be finished, and all my nests will live happily ever after. And that's what I'm hoping for you for the rest of the weekend. May your time be blessed. Thank you so much for joining me as I just, just squeezed an extra little sewing in, stitching this morning before my journals. See you next time. Bye.